I'm coming to you live on location at Chikutuzi, Uganda, in Mpigi district, at the home of the Uganda equator line. We are currently on location at the equator in Uganda. I have come to make a demonstration that I don't think has been shown or refuted as far as the Earth being an oblate spheroid. In other words, a globe. What am I doing here? I'm going to disprove the notion that the Earth is flat.
All right. Huntington Kalunji are my names, Equator Guide. So we are going to see what we call geographical water experiment. And right now we are starting from the south of the equator. South of the equator, if I pour water here, you're going to see it draining or spinning anti-clock. Then north of the equator will change and spins clockwise. But exactly at the latitude, there won't be any movement. So let me pour water and you see whether it's going to spin the other way, whether it's spin anti-clockwise movement.
Kali, so Kati, we're about 4 meters from the equator.
From the equator line, so we want to see whether it's draining anti-clock. After stabilizing with this flour,
anti-clockwise.
Anti-clock. I said the farther from the equator line, the faster. The close, the slow. And that's why they say your body weight when you stand at the equator is less by 3%. You weigh less when you're on the equator line. But the moment you leave the line, it comes back to normal. Got that? Let's take north.
Kali, so the equator was there. We're now at the northern hemisphere, which is again 4 meters about from the equator.
So it should spin cloud.
Northern hemisphere.
Okay. So then after I have to do the same, stabilize the water again. So I want to see whether it has changed the movement. Got it? I say the farther from the equator line, the faster it goes. The close is slow. And your body weight when you stand at the equator line is less by 3%. You're lighter. But the moment you leave the line, it comes back to normal.
We should stay on the equator then.
So let's do the last one. What happens at the latitude? Practically done. So we are at the 0 degrees latitude, where you won't see clockwise, you won't see anti-clockwise movement.
So they are clockwise and clockwise.
Now we're on the equator.
Yeah, we're on the equator. So what's going to happen?
All right, let's stabilize the water again.
Suck it straight down.
You see, to stabilize this, put again our flour. Got it?
No spin.
No spin.
Straight down.
Straight, because both magnetic fields are pulling. And I told you when you're here on March 21st, September 23rd, equinox, equal day, equal night. So you have no shadow at midday. And it traverses only 13 countries all over the whole world.
So as you can see by this demonstration, when you're on 4 meters from the equator, the flower petal and the water turns anti-clockwise. When you're 4 meters away in the northern hemisphere, the water turns clockwise. But when you're directly on the equator itself, the water is sucked straight down. Now what is this? How does this show that the Earth is not flat? If the Earth was flat, where we are in relation to the equator would not make a difference. The water would be sucked straight down with the flower petal. The fact that the water turns clockwise and anti-clockwise, depending on which side of the equator you're on, demonstrates that the Earth cannot be flat. If the Earth was flat, it wouldn't matter where you are in relation to the equator, the water would be sucked straight down. This is an argument I've never heard or used or heard even remotely trying to be refuted. and I dare anyone to come up with a refutation. Good night and good luck. For reference, these are the monuments for the equator. There's one on each side of this street. This is the north-south line here. When we turn around, there's the north-south line on the other side. So right now, I'm standing on the equator. This is me standing on the equator. All right, guys. I still dare any flat earther to debunk me. I dare you.